We're live. There it is.
And
hey,
now
oh, I just got the notification that we're live. Hey guys, we're going to just give everybody a second to get logged in. Let us know if there's any issues with the sound, if you can hear us. Okay, here come the people. Hello, hello, hello. Y'all come on in and tell us where you're watching from.
Ethan or Sarah.
We don't know which one.
Probably Ethan.
We can see and hear you. Great. Thank you, Lone Star Living. I appreciate you letting me know. I've got a couple of people coming in to help with moderation. When my moderators get here,
That's going
just let me know. Yeah. So we're going to get on our phones so we can try to keep up with this. You guys are excited to hear about this announcement. So we're going to be announcing the winners and talking about a couple other new things and taking some questions. I'm going to set a timer because we are going to make this an exactly 1 hour live stream. We're going to kind of keep it a little bit on the shorter side. Hello, everybody. I just saw Lisa fly by there. Hey, Lisa. That's our neighbor.
Oh, she's on here?
Yeah. Oh. You know how sometimes like a word will like pop out at you?
But that was actually Lisa?
Yeah, her last name just kind of like, I saw it. It was one of those where you see something familiar. Berryville, Arkansas, Fat Frog Farm. Hey, you're not too far from us.
South Carolina, North Carolina.
Debbie Arnold
Oregon,
from Central
Alabama.
Arkansas.
Parsons, Kansas.
Cool. Rhode Island.
Another Alabama. Central Florida. Batesville, Oklahoma.
Awesome.
Cool.
Oh, good. Hey, Two Family Homestead. So they're going to help us with moderation today. I'm glad to see you guys are here. I cannot thank my moderators enough because without them, this would be really difficult to do because this chat moves really fast. It can be a little bit intimidating to me. And so I always appreciate my moderators helping me make this possible. Trolls beware. She'll get you. Linda Kell, I found you recently and fallen in love with your sweet family. Thank you, Linda. All right. Let's give it just a couple more minutes and then we will start with some announcements. Thank you, Carla.
Oh, wow.
Thank you for that. We're going to give it just a couple more minutes and we will start in on the announcements. Carla said, congrats on 50K. Can you guys believe that? I scheduled tonight thinking I was going to do a giveaway announcement for our 40,000 subscriber giveaway. And we are now pushing 51 in the last week that has happened. And so we actually chose 4 winners. I was going to choose 3. So I was going to choose 1 for 40,000. And then in 1 week, we went to 50,000. So I was like, I'll choose 3. And then today we got almost another 1,000. So I chose 4.
Because you crazy.
Because I'm crazy like that. I just love giving stuff away. Actually, I really do. Have you ever read the book about the love languages? I'm like unabashedly a gifts person. I love gifts. It makes me feel so loved, and I love giving gifts. So I get really excited to do giveaways. Zavia said you passed 50,000 and we'll pass 60,000 by next Saturday. She speaks so much life over us. She just speaks all this life shit. I receive it.
She's so matter of fact.
I know, just matter of factly. She's just like, this is how it's going to be. Oh, Sherry, you're so silly. All righty. So we are on. I'm going to do just really quick, a quick Instagram story telling my Instagram that I'm live on here. All right. We are live on YouTube right now. If you want to check over there, we'll be live for the next hour and you can join us. We're about to do some question and answer.
Mama, can't pronounce that last name.
You inspire me to just jump into gardening.
Awesome.
I'm so glad to hear that. That's exactly what I want to do. I want to inspire people to jump into gardening. That is something that I am absolutely passionate about. So, all right, we've been live for 5 minutes.
Alrighty.
We got 400 people in the room. We're going to move forward. Amy Bushman says by New Year's you'll be at 100,000. You speak that, girlfriend. I agree with you. We'll receive that. No, it's so funny because like the summer tapered off and our views were like going down and we were just like, Jeremiah was just like, let's just, let's stay faithful and let's keep being here and just plugged into the community. And, in the spring, we'll probably start seeing some growth again. We're like, yeah, let's just, plug away. So this last couple weeks has been pretty cool. We've gone up quite a lot. Oh, Wholesome Roots. Yay, Rose is here. So Rose is our other moderator. First and foremost, I want to say, you guys, go give my moderators a follow. Go subscribe to them. Two Family Homestead and Wholesome Roots. You see them kind of flying by in these comments. They make this possible for me to do this. I messaged both of them yesterday and was like, hey, would you guys be available for this? Truly, I couldn't do these live videos if it weren't for the people who like this who help. So both of these channels are precious people with such hearts to help. And so please, Wholesome Roots and Two Family Homestead, and y'all tell them thank you for making this possible. Also, go ahead and
establish questions in capitals so we can.
Yeah, and if you have questions, we're going to do announcements first. So hold on to your questions for just 1 second.
Or the super chat thing.
Yeah, super easy. Yeah, that super chats, throw them up to the top. Otherwise, put your questions in all caps so our moderators can help me see those. We'll try our best to see them, but there usually are a lot. But first, don't ask questions yet because we're about to do some announcements. Okay. So first things first, let me get this. Let me make sure I can do it. I'm about to post a link to our new Teespring store where I have just loaded 3 new t-shirt designs. One of which is the goat head, which I showed you guys in like August and totally teased you and then didn't sell the shirts for months. I was really overwhelmed with filling orders ourselves. We were ordering shirts and then filling the orders ourselves. So if you had ordered a tank top for us, that was packed by these little hands.
While we watched Parks and Rec.
Yeah. And, they were handwritten. And I so love being able to do that, but I can't. I don't have enough time. And so
we're trying to do a YouTube channel, not run a shirt business.
So Teespring is a really cool thing. They make it possible to for us to sell shirts and provide merchandise, and they do support us. It does help support our channel. It helps support our family, but it relieves some of the work from us. And so Teespring's a really cool thing that they are providing, like a service that's available to us. And so today I went and put up 3 new shirts, 2 of which I designed, 1 of which my brother designed. The goat head is my brother, who's actually the tattoo artist who did all my tattoos. And so that shirt is now available as well as the other. And they have all sizes, kid sizes, hoodies, everything. If there's something that you wanted, like if you wanted the shirt in a different style or whatever that's not currently listed on my channel, you can shoot me a message and I can make it available. But I didn't go through and make it automatically put it on everything. I wanted to make sure it fit. So I customized each one to make sure it fit and looked right. So anyway, the link, I'll put it up one more time, the Teespring. That's going to start showing up underneath our videos. But I put it on there today. It said it will take 2 days to show up. So you guys are kind of getting the first look at that.
Pictures.
Yeah, underneath there will be like a shelf on whenever you watch our videos.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually ordering a goat shirt too. This will be the first Roots and Refuge shirt I've ever been able to wear.
Yep. So, okay. So
any colors available besides white?
Oh yes, there are other cover.
You can change the color in the cart, right?
The goat, yeah, there are options on there. You can choose your size, and down on the bottom you can choose your color. The goat head T-shirt is on lighter colors, but there are other ones. I think there's like yellow and gray and some different things. And then some of the designs are available on darker T-shirts. So yeah, y'all check that out. Okay, next order of business. We are. Someone said you seem so nice and down to earth, and that we make a great couple. Nice? You,
me. Where does it say that?
You are so nice and down to earth, and so cute. Okay. So I'm getting distracted. I got to do the announcement so we can get to the questions. I'm seeing all this stuff like, second thing, I'm currently working on something. We will have more information out about it soon. You could probably find it if you went and searched for it on Facebook. It is currently a closed group. However, I've created a Facebook group, Friends of Roots and Refuge Farm, that my vision for that and my hope for that is to create something of a community where you guys can get your questions answered and help each other, because I always encourage that in our comment section, saying, hey, check other people's questions, answer other people's questions, because a lot of people have really basic gardening questions, and I'm hoping that by doing a Facebook group we can have some files and some places where we can get a lot of information.
Like, for example, we answer a lot of questions. We try to answer all of them ourselves. Obviously, we can't answer all of them, but here's the thing is that we have answered a lot. And if we gave you the answer and you're in this group and someone else asks the same question, you can answer it because we've given you the information. And so that all we care about is that people get the information they need to start growing their own food. So that would really be just a benefit to the whole community to be able to kind of consolidate all the information and all the questions and all that. Because, honestly, even I have questions sometimes.
Yeah. And so I really just want to encourage the community to come together and help each other. And so that's the Facebook page. We'll have more out about that, but I just want to put that on your radar because I do want to help people garden. Okay. Winners of the giveaway. So we wanted...
What if they're not on here?
I'm going to announce them. And then
if you're not on the live, you don't win.
And then I'm gonna go comment on their comments on the original video and send them messages and get in contact with them. So I said this a little earlier. I started with the intention of giving away one big envelope of seeds out of my collection to someone. And then
we have so many people watching from Australia.
Oh, yeah. And then we grew so fast. We got 10,000 subs this week. Can you believe that? That's absolutely nuts. And so I was like, I'm going to pick 3 winners. But then today we got almost another 1,000 and I was just sitting there and I just felt crazy. So I picked 4. So I'm actually giving away 4 big envelopes of seeds that I'll be sending to people. If you are on this live stream and I call your name out, go ahead and comment and all of that. But really what you really need to do is send me a message with your address and say, my name is such and such and this. I'm gonna comment to everybody who won on the original video. So thank you all so much for joining along. I will tell you, when I ask everybody to share their favorite video of ours, I didn't realize that I was in for affirmation circle extraordinaire. We do this thing in our family called affirmation circle. It's so corny, but it's so good. What is it?
You say no. I'm laughing at you.
Oh, okay.
You say it's so corny, but and it seems corny until you do it,
and then you literally are on cloud 9, and you cry, and you feel amazing. And so we do affirmation circles. We just go around in a circle and say nice things. And
you kind of put some rules to it. You go around a circle, and let's say we choose one person. Let's say it was Jessica. Well, then everyone would say something nice that was meaningful or complimentary, and it's not cheap stuff. You can't be like, oh, I love your hair.
It can't be cheap. It's got to be
and
meaningful.
Everybody in the room says one nice, says something about that person. So they literally
and then you switch and you go to each person in the room.
It's pretty cool.
And so we always do affirmation circles for people's birthday. Everybody affirms them, or sometimes we just do it with everyone. It's awesome. It's really awesome thing that I tell everybody you should do. And so yeah, y'all totally affirmation circled me on that thing and talking about your favorite videos of mine. I was kind of expecting oh, I like this, haha, really shallow, you guys did it deep though. It was really I was crying reading a lot of those comments. It was really incredible. So the winners, let's get down to the winners. So I've got 4 winners. These people are going to receive a collection of seeds from my personal collection. I'm actually headed up to Baker Creek tomorrow morning And so I'm sure that'll kind of like pad out these envelopes a little bit too.
Oh,
so
yeah. We're not going to mail them until we get back.
Yeah, I'm not going to mail anything until I get back because I'll have a little more to choose from. So the first winner, and I hope that I say the names right. If I don't, I'm sorry. So the first winner is, and I just listed all the names down of the entries and then did a random thing. So Tamara Butterworth is our first winner. Hannah Herrick is our second winner. The third one was a channel name. They didn't have like a first and last name listed. It was Bear Bottom Acres, like BEAR, Bottom Acres. And then the fourth one is Justin Seabaugh. So those are my 4 winners.
Is any of those people here?
So are any of those people here? Let me see. Tamara Butterworth. Make Willow Creek Homestead a mod. Let me see. There she is. Okay.
Don't put her in timeout.
Did I put? No, I made her a moderator. Gosh, I would be so sad, Trish, if I kicked you out. Okay, yeah. Willow Creek Homestead is now a moderator. Thank you so much for stepping up. Y'all go give Willow Creek Homestead a follow. And tell her thank you for making these possible. So, time out. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we've got the winners are announced. I'm going to say them one more time. Tamara Butterworth, Hannah Herrick, Bear Bottom Acres, and Justin Seabaugh. I don't know if they said that they were here or not. I didn't catch it. Okay.
No, we'll figure it out.
So that's them. And I'm going to go comment on their things, their comments on the original video so that they can be alerted that they're winners because I need their addresses. So no must be present to win. No, Molly, I don't think I could do that. That would probably make this a long process if we must be present to win. So I'll reach out to them. Yeah, I haven't seen any winners say that they're here either. Okay, so let's get into questions. Those are my announcements. The t-shirt, Teespring, which I will put up a few times throughout this to make sure everybody sees it. And okay, my tiny organic garden. Have been waiting to know, how did you cut those panels for the greenhouse? Okay. They had a problem with them cracking.
Yeah, I was supposed to respond to that comment. Sorry, I've been
working.
Okay, so actually what I used to cut the panels was a grinder with a diamond carbide tooth blade on it that technically would be used for cutting tile. I think it's a rigid. I will actually go back on that video and post a picture of the actual tool, and it cut through it. The issue that you would run into while using snips or a skill saw is that being plastic, a lot of times that stuff splinters. If you don't have a grinder, you can actually make that stuff work. But what you do is, so you would masking tape, like blue tape, the underside. So if you're going to cut on top, then you masking tape the underside. And so what that does is, as the teeth are pushing through, what it wants to do is it wants to splinter out. But if you masking tape it, it keeps it from splintering. So you could actually cut them with a skill saw if you masked the bottom of them. But what I did was a grinder with a carbide tooth blade, diamond blade. It's heavy duty. It's made for, like I said, cutting ceramic tile, and it cut straight through them. Gave me great mobility to modify the different pieces when I had to cut angles, different things like that. It actually worked out really well. Didn't know it was going to work out so well, but it actually was definitely the most efficient and effective way to cut those.
If we don't have that, would a Dremel work?
Dremel, if you had a cutting blade that was centrifugal, so
Redbud Farm says we used a Bosch multi-tool to cut theirs and it worked very well. So
Bosch multi-tool, yeah, it sounds the same thing like a Dremel. That's what it sounds like. That would actually work because it's centrifugal, and so you just have to make sure you get the right kind of blade on it, something preferably with a really sharp edge that's not going to dull. Because once it dulls, it'll start melting it, or it'll blow it up. It'll splinter it.
Someone asked me what my favorite coffee brand was.
Hard Breer here.
Oh, hey guys.
Oh, that's cool.
Gosh, I can't. Someone asked what my favorite coffee brand was. It's called Onyx. It's roasted here in Arkansas. It's really good. You can find it online. They sell it different places.
Yeah. That coffee we got from Jonathan David and Melissa.
Yeah,
really
there's a group in North Carolina called the Helsers, and it's a couple called the Helsers. I don't know if you guys are, if you're in, if you're up to date on like worship and stuff like that, you might know who they are. They're worship leaders, and they have a group called Cageless Birds, and they do like this whole like farm thing. It's really neat, and they brew coffee there, and it's really good also.
Art Bree says I love them.
Oh, we love.
That's probably Bree.
Maybe not.
It could be Art.
Know.
It's highly unlikely.
Who is it? Is it both of them or one of them?
It's probably Bree.
Art loves us too.
I mean, well, me and Art did have that moment in the outhouse. Yeah, if y'all didn't, Bree and Grace. If y'all didn't see Art and Bree's video when we went and visited, it's pretty funny. Yeah, it's actually, if I could pick a favorite video on YouTube that I'm in, that would probably be it.
It was really hilarious. I cracked up at that.
How did you first plan where to put your garden and then where to place the raised beds? So originally that was the chicken yard. The chicken spent at least 2 years, almost 2 years.
Yes.
Almost 2 years in that, and that was their main yard. But then we also realized that when it came time to put the garden in, that was our flattest and best option. And so we actually ended up moving the chicken yard back. And this is where the chicken house is now. It
was really the only flat-ish full sun area that we had.
And it actually is. We really don't have any other options. So
we're going to do the backyard, but at the time we had a bunch of animals back there, and it's sloped. We're going to do back to Eden there, which manages the slope, but we were building raised beds.
So that was it. And how did we position or plan? Where did you put your garden and then where to place the raised beds?
That was more just, I don't know. That's just how we just, it wasn't just
well, I mean, okay, for example, the window that you see Jessica sitting at is overlooking the garden. And so I literally put the beds in line that you could basically I did it intentionally to give the garden, you'd be able to be viewable from the window in the house on purpose.
So someone said, will you be at 2019 Baker Creeks? I will be speaking at Baker Creeks Planting Festival for sure in May in Missouri, and we'll be at the expo as well.
Expo, sure.
So yeah, we'll definitely be at both of the things that they're doing.
Planning on getting cows. Interesting. So actually, right before my mom passed, I had gotten on the phone with our neighbor. He actually owns 170 acres that is next to us. About 90 of that is pasture up on the front end. And so we had a kind of a loose verbal agreement of coming up with a lease, something to lease. And I didn't talk to him again for a little bit. So I actually just got a hold of him the other day. Was it yesterday or the day before?
Yesterday.
And on January 1st, we're going to finalize the details and get the whole front pasture, which we'll put our horses on and most likely get some cows. Yep. So yes, cows are coming.
Yep, cows will be coming. A dairy cow will be first.
Thank you for Happy Veterans Day.
Yeah, and Happy Veterans Day to all of you veterans. Yesterday is Marine Corps' birthday.
Yes, it was.
Veterans Day tomorrow. Y'all, our moderators are so good.
Oh, is there bad stuff coming in?
Oh, they're on it. I didn't
know there was a bunch of bad stuff coming in.
They're being really awesome. So, Amanda Clem said, really wished I watched your video before I planted winter squash for the winter. That is a really common misconception that winter squash grows in the winter. Winter squash doesn't grow in the winter. You grow it for the winter because it stores well.
Living traditions.
Do you ride the horses? And if so, how often? We've been out of it. We're going to be doing it more. Somebody asked me about the clarity in my videos, and I just saw it really quick. And I think you were asking about my equipment. I'm actually about to start doing some more videos about some stuff like that, like some videos for creators and for the people who are just wanting to get into that. I think that doing YouTube is a really awesome thing. So I really do encourage people to do that. If nothing more than for your own satisfaction of sharing and the community and plugging into the community. The the camera that I use, I have two cameras. I have a little one called a G7X that is just like kind of my vlogging camera. Like I typically vlog on that one a little bit more because it's just a lot easier to manage and take around. And then I have a Canon 80D, which is a DSLR, and on it I have a 24 millimeter prime lens. It's called a pancake lens, and like a Rode mic on top of it. So that's what I typically do, like garden tours and more informational videos. I usually use that one.
Yeah, so many questions.
Will you do more videos of how y'all put your questions in all caps? So we do.
Yes, we will be at the HOA in 2019 faux show.
Yes, we will definitely
awesome.
be at
we'll
HOA.
Definitely be there.
We're also planning on making the trip down to Deep South Homesteads meetup
in March, right?
In March. We are hosting a meetup alongside a local couple here. They also have YouTube, VW Family Farms. It's not going to be a conference like HOA. It's just going to be like a one-day meetup. Let me look at my calendar really quick and make sure that I have this right before I say it. It's at the beginning of April.
Pigs are doing really good.
Yeah, the pigs are awesome.
I got some work to do on building some structures. I need to get a mobile structure built, and then I'm going to start putting in the permanent structure for the back pasture. But they're doing good. I've got a temporary little housing for them it's full of straw, so they can bed down and not get cold. So
cool.
We're good.
So, okay, Deep South Homesteads thing is on March 9th. And that's actually one of our son's birthdays. So we're probably going to bring our kids down to that. And kind of make a big deal out of it being his birthday. So we'll be there in March. Then on April the 7th we're not 100% nailed down, but that's like our 98% sure date here in Arkansas for a meetup. Now that is, you don't have to be a homesteader, you don't have to be a YouTuber, but it's going to be kind of one of those things to just bring the community together. It's going to be hosted out at the land that VW Family Farms has, and we are going to be looking for sponsors for that. We're going to have vendors. We're going to do a plant sale, and possibly get some food trucks and that sort of thing. We're kind of working out all the details. It's going to be really fun. And since that's about 30 minutes from our house, and what we're looking to do, because we get asked a lot for people wanting to come to our house. And occasionally we have people come by, but we're really busy. And so we don't have it open all the time, because we live here. And so what I'm looking at doing is the day before and the day after our meetup in April, that we're going to have like some open times at our farm. We don't have a lot of parking, so we can't just come whenever, but we'll do like some registration or something where we will have availability for people to come out to our house and visit with us here and see our farm the day before and the day after that. That is April the 7th, 180 degrees from average. And if you come, you have to stay with us. So I was telling Rose that she needs to come to that too, but that's kidding season. So I know for goat people that might be kind of difficult. What is your experience with keeping herbs alive in the winter? I've kept them alive in my house, sort of, not super great. Rosemary does fine. Some different things do fine outside, but I've just moved. I dug up a couple of things and put them in my greenhouse. So we'll see how they do. That's pretty much the extent of my experience. Have you started garden planning for next year? If you mean by that, Carrie Allen, have I begun to hoard seeds? Yes, I have. I don't have like a tentative, I haven't drawn anything out, but I kind of have in my mind what I want to do. And I don't have enough space, so I need more space. Have you ever grown tobacco? I have not grown tobacco. How many days left for the quail? 12. Yeah. No, 13, 14-ish. I posted that video the day after we started them, so you saw it about whenever it happened. Will you ever make a book devotional versus the video ones? Yes, I absolutely will. I'm actually have a phone conversation with a publisher next week, and I am talking about the different book ideas, and they're a Christian publisher, so I think that might be first on the list. Have you ever used grow lights indoors? No, but I want to. That's kind of on my list to try. We're going to be remodeling our basement here pretty soon. And after we get that situated, I probably will. Rose said 18 days on the quail. So we have like 16 left.
Well, we really don't have to keep deer out of the garden. There's never really been much of an issue.
About keeping deer out of the garden. We have 2 baby deer that come and they... This is so tacky.
It's not tacky. Okay, so is it less tacky that they go off into the wild and then I shoot them?
No.
For me, I'm a deer hunter. I'm sorry if there's anyone that doesn't agree with that. I enjoy the process. I enjoy eating the deer meat. I enjoy providing meat for my family. So I'm going to deer hunt. We have 2 does. They're not young. They're not babies, but they're like teenagers. And they're used to our property. So they bounce between the property next door, which is my dad's, and then our property, just eating and hanging out. They don't really go in the garden. And I told Jessica, I was like, well, if they hang out long enough, this time next year, it'll be big enough to harvest. And so, I mean.
He's wanting to put food out for them and feed them right outside the garden. So.
Which I haven't done.
Ethan said he heard the story on the phone the other day. Jeremiah's got a plan over these deer. But yeah, we have a fence. They pretty much leave it alone. There's like 1,000 acres of forest right around us. And so honestly, we don't get messed with that much. We hear coyotes and stuff, but we really have not had to deal with, even the birds don't really mess with our stuff. But I think it's because they just have so much that they can choose from that's far away from us. Willow Creek said feed the deer.
That's what I said. Let me get this straight. So I've got 2, I could literally make these like deer, like primo, like huge does. And then just like I would for the pig when it's time, you know what I'm saying? Harvest them for meat.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm going to enjoy it, but I totally will do it.
So what is the ideal raised bed soil? In the past, I've mixed topsoil with this super soil mix that's produced here locally, which is pretty much compost with some,
it's essentially back to Eden dirt.
Yeah, it's just compost is what it is.
Compost with wood chips.
Yeah,
and is essentially what Back to Eden does.
It's black, and I've basically put like 2/3 topsoil and then like 1/3 of super soil on top, and then with that, it's kind of created that whole Back to Eden thing because it was a thick layer of compost.
Is Back to Eden better or raised beds better for some things?
You can Back to Eden and raised beds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Really, our raised beds are very Back to Eden style, right?
Because they've got mulch, But that said, for raised beds, the best soil, I'm going to just start going straight to the compost. I'm going to stop with putting any topsoil in them. And I'm going to just do the compost in the raised beds. If I do any more raised beds, I don't know if I will. Okay, let's be real. I'm going to probably build more raised beds.
Who's going to build more raised beds?
Jeremiah's going to build more raised beds for me.
I'll build more raised beds for you.
Hey, Art's here. He said it's the best form of agriculture. Deer. Yeah, yes. The original free-range meat. I do love having deer.
Hey, guys, it's grass-fed.
Yeah.
Acorn-fed and persimmon-fed and all the good stuff you want in your meat.
Somebody said something about when the next devotional was going to be. I've actually got one filmed. I need to edit it. It'll be up in the next couple of days. So I filmed it the other morning in the garden when it was 27 degrees. I sat out in the garden in 27 degrees. And if you know how much I hate being cold, you know that was really... That was something. So let's see. I want to remind everybody here, because I'm totally going to push you on this because I haven't said it in the last 20 minutes. Y'all go follow my moderators, Wholesome Roots and Willow Creek Homestead and Two Family Homestead. Y'all go give them some support and tell them thank you for making this possible, because they are knocking out the trolls like hardcore.
Yeah, they're troll sniping. How many feet apart? Okay, so this is also like what I'm talking about with the community, like answering this question. We answer this question all the time. I'll answer it again. But if we had a community where we could all just help answer the questions, is how many feet apart are the raised beds? The raised beds are 4 foot wide. They're 4 feet apart.
Yep.
Okay, that makes the ideal, from our opinion, arch trellis. Gives you a good height. Even Jessica can reach the top without having really to stand on anything. It gives me enough clearance, and it's aesthetically pleasing. And so they're 4 foot apart. And that means that the arches are to the inside of each bed, the closest to each other, if that makes sense, not the outside.
Someone said you really have to be heartless to troll a bunch of gardeners. Preach. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Oh man. Someone said, did you lay out your raised beds parallel or perpendicular to the track of the sun? They are
they're east-west.
Yeah, they're east-west, so the sun rises and sets over them. That wasn't intentional. It just worked out that way. But I do suggest it. It works really well. Short women need to be able to reach things well. I'm actually not super I'm fairly average, but I can reach the top of them. I think that if someone that was probably less than 5'2" or so was gardening with those, they would probably need a stool.
What you can do if you actually are shorter, and if you don't want to get a stool, just move each edge of the trellis into the bed more. So the farther out you go from the edge, the lower the top of the trellis comes.
Someone said that my trolls are gnomes. That's funny. They're gnomes because gardening.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
They'll be here all night. Okay. Ducky. Yes, I don't really want to answer about that. Ducky, I'm going to do a video kind of explaining it more, but somebody, they keep asking, so I'm going to answer it. This is what happens whenever you do live videos and you're not ready to address something. Ducky did pass away. She passed away 2 days ago. She finally got her hooves underneath her. She was, dang it, I'm going to cry. She was finally standing.
I checked on her late that night. So I stayed up late fixing the greenhouse one night before because I was worried about the frost. And I'm talking like I worked until like 2:30 in the morning to get it done. I went and checked on her that night, and she was fine, normal, had food and water, petted her for a while, and I went to bed. And then when I went out the next morning to feed everything, she had just...
And it was weird because, like, with goats, a lot of times, like, when they die, they go over on their side, like, if something isn't really going internally wrong. But she was still laying up on her legs, and she just laid her head over. And so I have no idea. Like, I really don't. She was improving greatly. She had gotten her feet underneath her. She was walking, scooting around and getting her feet under her. But, it's one of those things that we worked really hard to save her. And it's hard. The kids were devastated. And it's really hard in light of having recently lost Maya's mom. There's a little bit of perspective there. So it's very sad, but it's not like earth shattering. But I know that we did what we could. And
honestly, it just really motivated me to, between now and next kidding season, like,
to have our kidding operation.
I'm just gonna really step up, making sure we have all the medicines we need. I'm gonna have a separate yard just for the kids if they're gonna be pulled off their moms. Really just refining that process. So, I don't like losing any animal. Honestly, doesn't really matter what it is. I get upset whenever a little chick dies because it got sent in the mail and it. You know what I'm saying? It's oh man, it was one of the free ones. You know what I'm saying? That was a rooster to keep the ones you actually ordered warm, and it died. And I'm like, man, that sucks.
Yeah, it's hard to lose them.
I've never been good with that.
Liz Zorab just came in. Hello, Liz. Liz hosted a really neat collab.
Right?
Yeah, and where are you exactly?
She was in England.
Yeah, it's just somewhere over there. But yeah, Liz did a really neat collaboration a month or so ago. About homesteading books that I took part in, and I really loved that. That Wales, that's right, in Wales.
We do not cover the raised beds right now. We're talking about getting a pipe bender and setting up our own, but we did not get that this season. So maybe next year.
No, quail cannot be free range. They don't get domesticated like that. They'll fly off.
Someone also keeps asking about electric fence. You can put electric fencing with your chickens. Electric wire will do nothing.
You have to get this netting.
It has to be a netting thing because honestly, chickens are like little velociraptor ninjas. They'll just figure out how to get around the wire somehow.
Yeah. Premier One has a really good. They're like the industry standard for that. They make.
And we're gonna get one. We're gonna try one out. We got one for the pigs. I want to try one out whenever we start doing our meat birds and use it to kind of give, or if I need to keep the meat birds in a smaller area. Then I want to be able to have some movable fencing.
Yeah. Loved how the boys were worried about their gardens dying. They're so sweet. They do love it. I'm going to take you guys on a look at the garden here after we get back from Baker Creek.
I don't know why this hit me just now. It'd be a cool addition to the kid garden.
What?
A little mini kid greenhouse.
That would be really cute.
Like a Benjamin size one.
Yeah. Okay, so what is your ratio of compost to topsoil? I've done 1/3 compost and 2/3 topsoil, but I'm going to move to all compost here pretty soon.
Herbal
tinctures on
goats. I use.
We've done some of that, and
Actually,
I'm moving more towards doing herbal remedies. But we got all our goats from a chemical herd, and so they were all used to wormers, and so it's really hard to take a herd of animals that is used to that and just cold turkey them off onto herbs. And so for the last 2 years that we've had them, we've only done things as they were needed instead of doing everything routinely. And so we're moving more towards.
Go kart is definitely still a go. The 2 boys, they're actually our 2 strongest kids because we left them with their mom for the longest. Darling's doing really awesome. But they've just grown up a little bit longer because they milked longer.
They're still.
But I really wanted them to get bigger anyway, so I mean that's good, and they're really solid. We actually just had the VW family farm over recently to help us. We're gonna weather them, and so we're working on getting that done. We should have done it a little while ago, but then, like I said, all the things that have happened. So they're about to be weathered, and we're going to start training. My friend Brandon, who actually built the chicken coop door for the chickens, is going to be helping us custom build the cart itself. So definitely doing that.
There's Sow the Land. Hey, y'all. Jason and Lorraine. They have an incredible channel. If you guys don't follow them, I was actually watching a video popped up. I commented on it, so they probably saw it. But today, it was actually an old video. It was like from 1.5 years ago, where they redid their kitchen and they did open shelving top and bottom.
Okay,
it's
cool.
Really neat. I liked hearing.
Actually, Jessica. Funny thing. Jessica showed me Sow the Land once, like a while ago, and I was like,
Jeremiah doesn't watch just a whole lot of YouTube.
I do watch some, but I just don't sit and watch YouTube because then stuff wouldn't get done on the farm, and so I don't really know how other YouTubers, farmer homesteaders, actually watch YouTube also because I just never have any time. But interesting thing, she showed me Sow the Land like before we really even really started posting regularly, and I was like, this is my favorite channel. I didn't even know him, but literally, I love everything he does. I like how clean it is. I like how neat it is. I like how expertly he builds things. Like he is my carpenter, like Yoda or Obi-Wan, train me in your ways. And I'm a pretty good carpenter. I'm not I'm not patting myself on the back too hard, but I mean, I've done a lot of carpentry. But Sow the Land, it's Jason, right?
Yep.
Is on another level.
Yep.
He really is on another level. He actually inspires me to do better at carpentry.
Someone said, when are we getting alpacas?
No idea.
He did mention it the other day. He said alpacas for Jess. They're going to start the hashtag again. He mentioned it the other day after talking to the guy.
Hashtag?
Yeah.
When was there a hashtag?
It's just a thing.
It's not a thing.
He was
hills. Yes. That's actually something we do a lot of. We
do a
lot of anthills.
We did get to meet Jason whenever we were at Homesteaders of America. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Jacqueline. She sent a super chat and said, in memory of Ducky. That's really sweet. Thank you. I really do appreciate the encouragement whenever people are like, hey, you did all you could, because I think that it shows that we really are invested and we really did try.
I mean,
Red Duchess Farm has 15 alpacas. Will you send me pictures of them so I can look at them? I'm being so serious right now. Send me pictures. Yeah, pictures, not alpacas.
Pictures. Do not send alpacas.
Will we ever get into beekeeping? Yes.
Yes, bees are coming spring.
In the spring. We actually have some friends here. They have a store locally, like an actual brick and mortar store called Brothers Honey, and they sell beekeeping supplies as well as all kinds of local stuff. And they're where we're going to go. We're going to get a few different, I think we're going to do 2 hives to begin with.
Plus VW Family Farm has 10 hives.
Yeah, they're going to teach us
They're going to help us and get
they're going to be the Obi-Wan of bees for us. Someone's
what? I can't.
Everybody's alpacas for Jess.
Guys, let's talk about something else. There are so many other things we could talk about that are just as interesting. You only got 15 minutes. You want to talk about alpacas for the next 15 minutes?
16 minutes. Let's see. I'm going back just a little bit because I know there were so many questions that I missed. Okay. So Thank you, Carla, for that super chat. Are you going to process your pigs yourself? Not originally. Like we're gonna start. We had the one that we have to process in February. We will not process that. That one already has an appointment with the butcher. Jeremiah is actually planning.
Screenshot that.
What?
Orange oil.
Oh.
3 tablespoons and 1 molasses kills fire ants.
Orange oil, 3 tablespoons of orange oil, and 1 tablespoon of molasses kills fire. Oh, that's
Let's try that. I can't do.
Golly, guys. Carla Walden, thank you so much for that.
Is that the alpaca farm?
Yeah. I think
that sounds a little questionable.
She's
It's Redbud, right? That's what it was.
You guys are so generous and so sweet to us. Thank you so much for that.
It was. I'm pretty sure it was.
So another video of your goat setup. We're actually doing some changes to that. We're putting up some new fences. As soon as that's all done, I'll absolutely do a video of our goat setup.
Probably it'll probably be like January.
Delta guy, thank you so much for sending those seeds. That is so precious. I really appreciate that.
That's the guy that I called.
Yeah, that was really, really sweet. I'm excited to get them. I'm gonna go check my PO box. I'm gonna go check my PO box tomorrow. Do I grow any edible flowers? Yes, I grow.
Least favorite thing to can, green beans.
I grow nasturtium. I grow borage. I mean, all kinds of like herb stuff, like chamomile and all of those kinds of things. I've got pansies out there now. So yeah, I love edible flowers. They're beautiful. How
did you learn how to regulate a greenhouse?
I didn't. It's not that regulated. I won't be doing
lots of things died.
The first year, everything died. Absolutely everything. Every single seed that I started died the first year. And I learned that I was actually keeping it too hot. I'd put a bunch of heat lamps in there and it just wasn't good. The second year, everything was fantastic. I had so many plants. Last year, it was way too overcast and I didn't add any supplemental heat and it stayed too cool. And my stuff all grew, but it was really slow. So it wasn't ready by the plant cells and I ended up with a lot of extra plants. So this year, I think I'm going to get it right. Someone said my teeth are beautiful. Thanks.
What is your favorite plant to grow? Tomatoes.
Yeah, probably tomatoes.
That's your favorite plant to grow.
Do you have a favorite plant in the garden? Jeremiah's not really the gardener. He enjoys the garden. He wants to learn how to grow fruit trees.
Fruit.
But right now,
ground cherries.
Ground cherries, yeah.
I eat a ton of those.
The kids call them garden candy.
Garden candy. Favorite
breed of goat and why? Well,
Nubian.
We have Nubians.
They're beautiful.
They're good milkers. We also have La Manchas. I want more of them. They don't have external ears, which makes Jeremiah feel uncomfortable. But
it makes me feel sick. There's a difference.
They're weird looking. I love them. They're so docile. I think the La Manchas probably are my favorites. The Nubians are his favorites. We're actually going to get a couple of Nigerian dwarfs as well. More for pets. I don't know if we'll milk them because when you have big dairy goats. And we have a Saanen that we are breeding our Nubians to get some mixes.
Yeah. But I'm not going to build that big of a fan.
Can you harvest the pig's hair? No. Okay, that's one question.
Oh, the woolly pigs.
Yeah, the woolly pigs. Their hair feels like pig's hair. It looks super soft and springy, but it's really long, curly pig's hair. It's coarse, and so it's not good for wool like other things.
Yes, we actually are getting into Nigerians too.
Yes.
I think we've already worked out one deal for one doe, and then we're working on the rest between now and spring. Someone keeps asking, are we going to live conference in Hannibal?
I believe we are going to try to go. I think that's in August. Does anybody have the date of that?
I thought it was in July.
When is the live conference? It's in the summer, and yes, that's on our list that we're going to be trying to make.
We love
that
Doug
one.
And Stacy.
Yeah, we love Doug and Stacy. They're super sweet.
Dehydrator.
No, herbs I don't put in the dehydrator. I hang those upside down. If you have a dehydrator that has a really low setting, you can dry your herbs in that. But if you have just like, for the longest time, I had one of those cheap round ones. It was like $15 at Kroger on closeout. And it had like one setting and it was really uneven. Don't put your herbs in that. It'll mess up. It'll ruin the nutritional value.
I'm not going to have a channel about how to build stuff.
No, he probably won't have a channel. But you could peer pressure him into making more videos on this channel because he actually does a really good job. But he doesn't feel like super confident about that. So
yeah, I don't know about that.
That's just best.
Most people just want to see you, and that's okay. I like to look at you too.
They want to see you too.
Really.
Someone said weirdo goats with no ears. No.
That's the way to start. Peppers and tomatoes. Do you need grow lights? Depends on your zone.
Yeah.
That's actually a good idea. Ear prosthetics. Let's do that.
Jacqueline Freeman said, "Thank you for helping me become more confident in making positive changes and feeding my family healthy."
Awesome.
It is my great joy, Jacqueline. Thank you so much. It's so doable. Do you make elderberry syrup? Yes, I do. It is totally a must-have in my cabinet.
Some.
Yeah, I make elderberry syrup. Elderberries are a lot harder to get than they used to be. You used to be able to buy them dry, no problem, but now they've gotten a lot more popular. But we have elderberry trees that grow wild in our.
We will never do meat rabbits again. Never.
Okay,
never,
we actually are a little bit disagreement about this. He says never. This is my exception,
Listen,
and this
we will have 1 million alpacas before we have I mean, 1
okay, we can be okay with
million. Because I will not do meat rabbits again.
We were not a big fan of meat rabbits. It was just hard to keep up with. I'm sure people who have it down to a science do it really well. It wasn't that we didn't like the meat. The meat was good.
Oh, no, I love the meat.
But we just had a rough time. I think, honestly, we were very inexperienced farmers when we did rabbits. And we made a lot of mistakes. We had a lot of kits die, and it was honestly a little traumatic. It's hot here, and rabbits don't do well in heat. They don't breed in heat. And so it kind of narrowed it down to just a couple of windows that we would be able to really breed them very easily. I don't know. We might be a little scarred by that. So
it is in August. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna definitely put the Homestead Life Conference on our calendar.
It's highly unlikely we'll do meat rabbits.
Highly unlikely. Never say never. Let's see. Thank you, Jacob and Deborah from Go Back to Basics.
Awesome.
Thank y'all so much for that. Distilling your own herbs. I've thought about it and doing essential oils and stuff. I've looked into it, and the equipment's just, from what I understand, is to make essential oils, the equipment's fairly expensive, but I'm totally open to learning more about that. I use essential oils for everything. That's actually something I haven't talked just a whole lot about on this channel, that I may do a little more of sharing about in the winter. But I've used essential oils since 2008 is whenever I got into them really seriously. I was with Young Living way back before they got super popular. But I had gotten really sick, and long story short, I was going with conventional medicine for about 2 years, to the point that there were just no answers for what was going on. And I ended up just going to essential oils and addressing my diet. And that was my start with essential oils. And I've used them for everything since then. And they're just so a normal part of what we do that I forget to make videos about them. So
we put our greenhouse in the northeast side. I don't know that it matters where you put the greenhouse.
You just want to make sure it has sun exposure.
Yeah, keep it away from trees. Make sure it gets to the sun. No, we've never eaten goat for meat. That's not something we've done.
Hey, Lauren. Lauren said your bestie wants to learn essential oil distillation. That's my
Who?
Lauren Hall. He's
she's on here?
Yeah.
I mean, what?
Lauren Hall.
Oh, very sneaky.
So she just snuck in there.
Let's see. What's another thing? I would consider colony rabbits. And how do we get all the rabbit poop? From Lisa, who actually was on
commented beginning. My friend Lisa, our neighbor,
she still does rabbits.
She still does rabbits, and she lets me come and scoop at the poop to use in my garden. So that colony. What I was going to say when he said never was, if I did rabbits, it would be colony style, and I would probably raise them to really to feed my dogs. That would probably be why I would go to rabbits, like for a sustainable dog food source that's not from the store.
Because raw feeding dogs is actually the best type of food.
But alpaca poop is actually just as useful on gardens as rabbit poop is.
Jim Terry, no, we've never done straw bale gardening. I don't know that we ever would.
I'm totally going to try straw bale gardening in the spring just to try it, just to know. One of my major passions and a desire of my heart is to teach people how to grow food in situations when they don't have 5 acres. And so I'm going to try some straw bale gardening, not on a large scale. I'll probably do like 4 bales or something. Just, I don't need to. I have plenty of space, but I want to learn how to do it so I can help other people set it up. So yes, but not because we really need to.
Will we ever sell seeds like Emma Gardner? Maybe.
Maybe in the future. I don't see that anywhere in the foreseeable future to have my own like seed company. I just don't. Right now I'm pretty tapped out as far as capacity goes, and I want to get some books written. And right now I want to keep up videos real regularly, and that takes up a lot of time.
Someone asked something about goat poop. So we put a round bale of hay out that we're actually about to change up that whole thing too. But we have been putting out a really high quality round bale. Like I'm talking like really high quality Bermuda. And whatever they don't eat, by the time the month's over, we scrape it out and scrape the yard. So like the yard that they mostly hang out in, we'll gather up all their poop and stack it up. And then that sits for a while and turns into really high quality dirt. And then we use it. But I don't think we really sow goat poop directly into the beds, do we?
Not until it's composted. Like you said, we compost their bedding. Thank you so much, Amanda. You're so sweet. We are actually leaving at about 7 a.m. and going up to Baker Creek for tomorrow, and so we'll be up there touring their grounds and eating at their restaurant. They, wrapped up the catalog on the end of last week, and so we're going up there now that they're not all tied up with that and just visiting, so we're really excited to see that. Patrice, hey Patrice, there's a sweet lady, y'all. She's got a cool channel, Patrice's Projects. Really cool story. I don't know, I'll try to keep it brief because I know we don't have just a whole lot of time, but Patrice found us on YouTube, followed our YouTube, was super excited to meet us when we went to California, was mentioning it to her family, and turns out she's one of my real life, like in person best friend's aunt-in-law. So her nephew is married to one of my friends here that has, lived here and then moved. It's just kind of a crazy small world thing.
Someone asked about books, which you already answered that. But
yeah,
Jessica will be talking to a publishing company next week sometime.
Yeah, I'm going to be talking to a publishing company. So thank you guys so much. Everybody's starting to say their goodbyes. We'll take 2 more questions. If y'all want to throw them up there. So, do you have any advice on getting radishes to grow and not just foliage? You might have too much nitrogen in your soil. It might be too hot. They could be too close together. Make sure they're spaced out. If they don't have enough space, they won't grow a root. So that's just quick troubleshooting without really seeing or knowing what's going on.
Arden Bree, one of our pigs coming.
We've got them. The pigs are here. We got the Mangalitzes, and we got an old spot.
English spot.
Gloucestershire old spot or whatever it's called.
Yeah, so it's a spot.
So
and we'll be processing her in February, and then the Mangalitzes will be growing up for our.
Yeah, they'll be breeders, and then we'll. I was halfway through answering a question earlier. I want to throw the answer on real quick. Someone asked about us processing pigs ourselves. Hand Hewn Farms does workshops, and Jeremiah is going to attend one of those. Just depending on how it goes, I don't know where that's going to be or when. It'll probably be towards the end of next year. But basically, our hope is that he can learn the processing, and that we can also learn like the smoking and preserving and all of the different things that they teach, so that when our Mangalitzes, when we're getting to the point of starting to harvest those, that we are actually able to do it ourselves. That's the end time, the end goal. But for now, the pig that's getting harvested in February will go to a processing place. Yes, Mary, I'm going to do a video about the pig breeds that I chose and talking about that. I did announce the winners. Let me go ahead and respond to the winner. Let me go ahead and repeat the winners one more time. I'm going to put the Teespring up one more time. The winners to the giveaway were Tamara Butterworth, Hannah Herrick, Bear Bottom Acres, and Justin Seabaugh. Yeah, y'all go ahead and give this video a thumbs up so people will see it. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. I'm going ahead and throwing up our Teespring one more time. 3 new designs are out now where you can get hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeves, kids shirts. It's all there.
Awesome.
I keep seeing people asking about devotionals. A new one will be up here in the next day or two. I've got one filmed, so I've just got to edit it. And okay, so go follow my moderators. Go follow the people who make this possible. I'm so thankful for them. That's Wholesome Roots. Willow Creek jumped up to the task today because we were having a lot
Is there international shipping on the Teespring?
And to Family Homestead. There is some international shipping on there. If you're having problems with that, send me a message and let me see if there's some other option. If I know that they ship some from the US and some from the UK, and some things are not available there that are available here. So I'm not 100% sure. I'm brand new to Teespring, but I've chosen the higher quality shirts on there. It does knock down the profit margin just a tad, but I hate cheap t-shirts. So I wanted them to be good and be something that you guys would actually wear. So thank you all so much. I just could sit here and talk to you guys all night, but we do have children and other things to do, and I have to go grocery shopping before I go out of town in the morning. So we love you all tremendously. Thank you.
Love you guys.
And we bless you. Until next time.